BMW 9T. Look at this beast, look at this motor. Ooh, she's lumpy. Oh, sounds good. Even with the stock pipes, it sounds good. Obviously with this engine, very torquey. The style of this bike is sort of, I guess, cafe racer, traditionalist. But it's got really good sort of road manners. It sticks nice to road. It's got some good weight behind it. It feels nice and planted through the corners. Really smooth, silky smooth. You can change direction in the corner nice and easily. It's just so planted. Give it a bit. Oh, she goes. Oh. Whenever you jump on one of these bikes, BMW, the first thing that comes to mind is just, well, two things. One, quality. Like fit and finish on this bike is just awesome. It's something you can just have in your garage and just stare at for hours, I reckon. And also the second thing that comes to mind is just how refined it is. Like through these corners, it's just so easy to ride. Pick a line and you just stick to it. Give it a bit, straighten up, tip it in. Oh man, this is easy. Brakes are nice and punchy, good bite. Got good pull up with the engine as well, not too aggressive with engine braking, really predictable. And the wind, I mean, you know, we're going along at a fair pace now, not light speed, but fast enough to know what the wind's going to be like. And it's actually not too bad. I mean, I'm obviously copping a bit, there's no real protection here. But I think the aggressive stance of this bike, leaning forward, arms outreached, sort of hides the wind pretty well. Whoa! I mean, that's in 6th gear. You don't even need to change gears in this thing. It's awesome. Man, I don't know, you can talk about horsepower figures all day if you want. You can talk about horsepower until you're blue in the face. But torque is king. And it's good to see with bikes these days, there's more of a shift to usable power. It's a bit of a buzzword these days, but that mid-range and that torque, it's just, it makes riding the street so much more enjoyable. I hope he doesn't want to swap back because this is fun. That's one thing too, this bike, plenty of character. That's certainly one thing that I'm starting to appreciate as I get older and I ride different sort of bikes. Personality. I don't really give a crap about straight line speed anymore. I mean, speed, you know, can be fun, and obviously, like I said before, the torque is sweet, but give me a bike with a bit of personality. More personality the better. just makes for a much more enjoyable riding experience, much more visceral. I like to feel what the bike's doing. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? Riding a motorbike, being exposed to the elements, you know, experiencing things firsthand, not just being cooped up in a bubble. Man, I could sit in this thing all day. I mean, you look at the seat of this bike, it doesn't look like much, but man, this thing's comfortable. It's good. As far as ergonomics go, this is pretty comfortable. I mean, with your arms outstretched like this, you're probably going to feel that after a while. You can start to feel, obviously you cop a lot of wind with your hands being exposed like this, so cold weather, you're definitely going to notice that. You want to make sure you have a good pair of gloves. But you know, it's a pretty comfortable bike for what it is. Let's see what we can do here. Oh, it's got the power. All you have to do is think about overtaking. Just the stability of this bike is really impressive to me. I mean, coming off the nineT, which is pretty flighty, you do get blown around a bit more. This thing just feels like a rock, so stable. Cruising along at this sort of speed is so easy. It feels like it's idling. It's not a small bike, but if you're a tall guy, you might have trouble. I mean, I'm a beestick under 6 foot for reference, and I don't know, I wouldn't want to be much taller, to be honest. Now, all this refinement and all this quality obviously comes at a price. I think Nick paid about 25 G's for this bike, which is a lot of money. Is it worth the money? Yeah, I reckon it is. This thing is awesome. It's got character, it's got presence, it's got build quality, it pulls like a train. Would I pay the 25 grand for it? That's a different question. But I can see where it gets its price tag from, because yeah, it's a sweet bike. Whenever I think about, you know, spending big coin on a motorbike, like one like this for instance, you know, 25 grand, I want it to be, I call it a forever bike. So it's the kind of bike that you are going to invest a lot of money into, and you have, you know, no plans to stay in for the foreseeable future. You know, something that you can grow with, a bike that you're gonna get lots of use out of, and something that can see you, you know, for quite a few years. And I think that this bike is definitely one of those bikes. This could very easily be a forever bike, in my opinion. I'm self-conscious of these cylinder heads though. It makes me a little nervous going around those corners. I'm sure it's got way more clearance than I give it credit for though. I mean, seeing Nick ride this thing around, I'm sure I'm nowhere near scratching those cylinder heads, but I don't want to be the first person to do it, that's for sure. And you know, it is a big engine, it's a lot of bike, but it's not too intimidating. Once you get used to it, it hides its weight nicely. I can only imagine as a low center of gravity, because I don't feel the weight, and I can't imagine it's too light. But once you get on it, and you feel how planted it is, it's actually pretty confidence inspiring. Oh, this is sweet. Oh man, that sounds awesome. Oh, grin factor for the nineT is fucking through the roof. Here I am talking about refinement and, you know, quality and all these, you know, all these ways to describe the nineT, and then there goes the nineT, just fucking blasts right by, doesn't give a shit. I reckon I'm probably faster on this thing than I am on the nineT, surprisingly. Give it a bit. Likes to flip on the downshift. Clutch or subshifts, no worries, loves it. Tell you what, it's got a pretty good note for stock exhaust. Low RPM, 4th gear. Sounds good. Do yourself a favour, if you get the opportunity to ride one of these bikes, go for it.